Ghana's agriculture contributes to about 54% of the nation's GDP, and it's also provide about 40% of export earnings. But it is quite unfortunate that agriculture in this country is mainly predominantly done on a smaller scale. And this is something that must be highly encouraged in this country, especially to the younger generations, like those in the second cycle institutions. Around this country, there are over 800 senior high schools in this country, and guess what will happen if we are able to sell the idea of agriculture to the younger generation and motivate them to go all out for it. Here in this country, especially in Western region, there are some schools who have taken distance as a major course. My name is Goshes from High Schools Africa. Today, I'm going to visit schools in the regions who are doing really well when it comes to agriculture, and I'm going to share their stories with you. Of course, they're also receiving some sort of awesome motivation from the regional education director, Madam Felicia Ejibia Okai. We so much appreciate her initiative. A great time where students are encouraged to visit their farms during their free time, and then do a little bit of work in there. And there's so much we need here on High Schools Africa to do a lot for the schools across the country, most especially fuel sponsorship. Please, if you have any connection to these fuel companies, please get in touch with them and let them know that a whole lot of stuff are happening here on High Schools Africa, and they need to get in touch to render their support to us, and we'll be so much grateful. Now the agenda for the schools is Operation Grow What You Eat. This is something that must be greatly encouraged and be supported by the stakeholders, the government, and even the stakeholders. I heard that here at Daboase, they have an extraordinary farm and they're doing tremendous amount of good to support the student over here. I have to make it here this morning to look at the farm and also to speak to the school authorities. When I got to the entrance, it wasn't easy. A super huge maize farm. Good morning, sirs. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
I'm fine, madam. Madam, I have seen your farm. I'm so blown away. So blown away. You know, I got here because education asked me to come and see your school farm.
All right.
And I thought it was a joke. But when I got here, what I have seen, I thought it was just that side though. But I came around and it stretches all the way from that end to this place. It goes all the way down there. I want to know how you made it.
It's just by the grace of God. Actually, I came here from Cape Coast 2020. Then COVID came in. So activities were on hold. We have two campuses. This campus was not in use because there was no light, there was no water. So they were all at the old site. So I met my management and I told them I want them to move some of the students here because we don't have infrastructure. No dining hall, no assembly hall, no master's bungalow, no administration block, nothing. So it was very difficult for the previous heads to move in here. So then we needed to start with the basics. There was no electricity. Contacted the Energy Commission through the DC to the minister. Then they connected the school to the national grid.
Madam, please, can we walk up there?
Yes. Then we needed meters from electricity. I applied to the minister, DC, MP. So on one fateful day that thieves broke into my ICT lab and took all my machines, the MP heard it and came. And my request was that before I could welcome him, you should get me meters to the new site. So it was a Thursday after taking my COVID shot. He came here, saw the place, and he called for the estimate for the meters.
Wow.
We requested for 10 meters. They supplied us instantly with 7. So on that day that they were fixing the meters, I moved the children here. So both teachers devoted to moving here, abandoning their homes so that they can stay here with the students. And then we started with they brought the idea that the land is good, so we can start with maize. And both of them cleared the land with the students, and we started with maize. We started with 2 bags, right? 2 bags initially. And
what was the budget?
We started with 1,000 cedis.
1,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes. So our first proceeds, we use it as a tithe. We gave it out to all the departments, the students first, the teachers, the department, the police department, the health, hospitals, district assembly, fire service, everybody in the community to have a taste of what we harvested. Then after that, we bought another one, we sold it. We had 2,500. Then another proceed after harvesting, we sold it, we had 4,800. And the last one, we sold it and had 10,000.
Wow.
For the proceed that we sold. So we decided to, we harvest, we give some to the school for the children to be fed on. Right? Then we use the others to reinvest. And this one is not from the school coffers. It's my own personal money that we started with it. And so, with what we've done, looking at the way things are, shortage of food and other things, we decided to expand it so that we use some to feed our students. Then the other proceeds, we sell it and we reinvest. We have it in mind. We've planted about 500 plantain in there. We have cassava in there. We had tomatoes. We harvested it. We sold it. So this time we've used all the land in front of the school instead of it to be waste for encroachers to come in. So we use it as a beautification for the maize. And at the back of it, we are going to do fish pond there. Our school was earmarked for the National Aquaculture Project. But unfortunately, the people came, they said they were going, they'll be back. They've not been here. We are still waiting. So come next academic year, we have decided that we are going to start in our own small way. And we contacted the agri department here and they said we should also start with piggery. So we are here to read the structure over there. Then at the back there, we continue with the plantation. Due to the good works that we are doing here, the District Green Ghana project was hosted on this very campus. And the forestry department have adopted our school that the forestry ladies are planting along the boundaries of the school to protect our land for us. So in the nutshell, this is what Daboase has in our closet.
This is really inspiring, madam. But I want to find out what exactly influenced your decision to start the farm.
Yes, the school is at a Greek school. We have a Greek department, and so that was one of the agendas that we intended to. But the regional director, the lady
Madam Felicia
Ejebio was the one who inspired us. When we started on a very small, she came around and said, no, we can't let it be, we should expand it. And even during our 30th anniversary, when the regional minister came, he also was so happy and he encouraged us to. So the vision and of our plantation is coming from our regional director.
Wow.
And it was handled in the care of my 2 noble teachers who have devoted their time to make sure that the vision and my vision and their vision come to pass.
This one is how many acres?
It's 6 acres.
6 acres.
6 acres, yes.
If I may find out, how has this really benefited the school and the student body?
As our mommy said, this school is an agriculture institution. So for the student to have hand feeling of agriculture, we decided to use the students so that after they have completed the education, they can also go out there and practice it. Besides that, it's also the idea to beautify the environment and also stop people encroaching the land. And as our mommy said, we also have the idea to support the food that the government is also giving to the students. So we are going to harvest whatever that we get from this farm to support the food at the dining hall.
So has there been a time where you've gone shortage of food and you've been able to use this one to supply the dining?
Yes. Even
Last week,
2 weeks ago, we had a cassava farm. We harvested some and used to feed the student.
we fed the whole student.
The whole student.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's for the lunch.
Wow.
Yeah, we fed them on the cassava. So this one is serving as a supplement.
Wow. And say, you see, there are other schools out there who have lands. They are not really into agriculture.
Yeah.
But they have lands there. What advice will you give to such schools, like your sister schools?
Yeah. You see, looking at the current situation that you find ourselves, we don't know what is even going to happen the next year. So I would advise that if they have the land, they should start doing something. So that if you have full crisis, they can use that to also support their students. They shouldn't always rely on the government. If all of us come together, we can support the nation. So I will encourage them to start something small. And as they start, they will come to where we also find ourselves.
Amazing. Sir, please, I understand you've played a very important role in making this whole thing work really, really well. I want to find out what has been the major challenge for you and what you think should the major challenge for you and the way forward. What you want to make this thing even become bigger.
Okay. Like our mommy said from the beginning, capital is very, very difficult to come by. So if you don't get somebody who is having the vision that you're having, sometimes you venture into some of these things, it become a problem. But our mommy, from her own coffers, he has been supporting us a bit. But at least we know if you should get it in a country, it will be able to help us to extend our hands to other parts of the lands. Sometimes we do teaching at the same time the farming. So it becomes a problem when you have a lesson and you're supposed to come to the farm to also at least render your service. So if we should get science teachers, more science teachers in our school, our mommy has already requested for that. So I know if authority get to hear of it, they will do justice to that. So that some of us can devote our whole time into the agric to make sure that we can uplift the name of the school through the agric.
Amazing. Madam, when you at first I overheard you say when the first crop came out, you supply it to the community, some of the institutions in the community. I want to find out if they contributed something towards the second edition.
Nobody has done that, and not even recognition until just last Friday that we were invited to the Farmers Day award, and we were given the district best school in agriculture. In fact, we're happy that we were nominated, but we were not satisfied in the sense that looking at what we were doing, we were expecting to be the district best farmer. Then we will have the Abobo year that will help us to be conveying our proceeds and going around. But then we had a basin and
knapsack, a basin.
A basin 2, a knapsack, pumping 3, cutlass, and is it a Wellington boot? Anyway, we are still waiting. Maybe they have given us the platform now, so then region and the national should come in and help us. And I want to appeal to the Ministry of Agriculture. The nation is suffering, and they should look at the second cycle institutions. We have certain potentials that they don't know, because we are not in the full-grown agriculture sector. They don't know our potentials. Like my school, for example, we want to be the role model for other schools to emulate. And when you go for meetings, the teachers' heads will be, Irene, why don't you bring your cassava and plantain to come and pound fufu for us? I wish everybody can start something. Even at your backyard garden. I've started it at my bungalow where I'm living. Backyard. I harvested cucumber.
Yes, madam.
I've harvested carrots. And we have coconut. About 100, more than 100.
We have 150.
150, and we have 50 at the old side, making it 200 coconut plantation. So we have the vision, but just that the finances is the problem. You know that looking at the current situation, there is no money. The school has no money to support. And I don't want to have any issues, because the moment you dip your hand in the school, auditors will come. Even they came and confronted me that the proceeds that I had from the farm, I should bring it out.
They say you should bring the proceeds out.
Where is the proceed from the farm? And I told them that it was my initiative. We are doing it for the school, and we are reinvesting it. So these are the certain predicaments that we see. They don't know how we do it, but they want the end result. And if you are not careful, go and appear before the Public Accounts Committee. So if the regional minister can come in with the agri people, give us laborers, prisoners to come clear most of the land, then we can even start with rubber plantation and palm fruits, so that we can utilize the land and stop encroachers from encroaching.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you've seen everything that is happening here. The end goal of this is for this to be magnified, to be made bigger. And now you've seen everything that is happening here. Of course, you want the government to come all out and contribute his quota. But if you are also a stakeholder out there and you've seen everything that is happening here, please come all out and then extend a helping hand. And it will go a long way to. This school has a very interesting story. It's a school that has no dining hall, it has no assembly hall, no teachers' bungalows.
Administration.
They don't have an administration, and they are still making the A's. Madam just told me that all her prefects actually came out with A's.
The boys' prefect has 6 A's, 2 B's. The girls' prefect has 6 A's, 2 B's. I had a girl who had raw 6.
You see,
and you see, because they are from the poor families, some may not continue because of finances. But under the support of our board chairman, Dr. Boachi Yadom, who is a lecturer at the Takoradi Technical Institute or University, had affiliated us to the institute, that they've given us free admission forms for all my students since 2020 that I came. So it's left with the parents to pay for the children to go. Other than that, some may have good grades, but because there's no support, they will end up joining the Galamsey trade. So I'm pleading with NGOs, GMPC, others, they should come and support us, give us scholarships, so that our students can progress to the tertiary level.
amazing. So now this is my time here at the Daboase Senior High Technical School. Please, a lot needs to be done here, and we expect you to come all out and extend your support if you can, and that would be so awesome.